everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Monday, April 13th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. As we all see, there are two sides to every coin in this current transition with the activities that we're all watching. And two sides, you've got the doom and gloom side that everything is over and it's just, hell in a handbasket. And then you have the other side that sees it much differently. And it is amazing when, you look at any situation or scenario and how there are those, and some mean well, some mean that they feel that they're helping, but they are seduced into the lower frequencies of doom and gloom, chaos, and, annihilation and all that stuff. And they don't realize it. They're pulled into it, but they don't realize it. And they think they're helping. And in a way, they're not, because they're continually causing, those lower frequencies, we all know. We just don't have a motivated attitude or direction to entertain them. We did it for so long, for so many thousands of years, that we just aren't going to do it anymore. It's not even, let's just put it this way, it isn't even in the books anymore. It's gone. And when we realize that we are in a space, and the more we're in the space, the more we are able to expand. So the space is limitless. So when we're limitless, we can literally go anywhere, do anything. And when we're not in this space, which means that when we go into a meditation, and we go into stillness and quietness, and remember we talked about the room with the table and the candle light, and that was the God, and is the God, and it seemed kind of, dim and not real bright. And when we move into this space, we have no limitations at all. The only limitations that we have are through our minds. With the ego mind, we have these limitations that dictate to us. And then we believe that we have these limitations, that nothing can be done, or that's not possible, or we just can't do this, and that's silly, that's not doable, that can't be done. But when we shift, and we shift our perspective, we have this vast open space, and there's total stillness of mind. And we literally have no restrictions on ourselves. Because when we still the mind, we are not restricted. It's only when the mind is active, and we have a tendency to not leave the mind alone. We are constantly interacting with our minds. So when we leave the mind alone, and we go into stillness, and into the now, we are limitless. Everything we desire, everything we view is limitless. And we begin to realize between these two understandings that we know that because we can move into space and we have limitless existence, we know that when we enter with the mind and the physical, that's when we start having these doubts, questionings of ourselves that, that we are restricted, that we are limited. If for a moment any of us or all of us could imagine that we are limitless, and to remove ourselves from all of this around us, all of these things that are meaningless. When we're immersed in such a matrix, a structure, a holographic imaging life, where it is a constant, when you think about this, it is a constant battle on power, control, elimination, deception, all of these things. It's so nonsensical. You begin to realize it. You begin to see it in your own way, in your own direction. You begin to see it very clearly on how nonsensical so many things with this planet are. And the only time it gains strength is when the collective consciousness begins to believe it. And when the collective consciousness is then deferred on the belief mechanism with this planet and this civilization that we all know, but some are not consciously aware of it, that we can effect a shift anytime we choose. Anytime. There's 24/7. Anytime we choose. And when I talk about us, it's about us. It's about you. First, it's got to be about you. Because if it isn't about you, then there's confusion. When it's about you, it is about you being within yourself and understanding consciously and clearly of what you really are. You're God in a physical form. And the physical form is a frequency. The God is a frequency. And so you're pure consciousness within the physical form. And you realize that all of this muck, all of this stuff going on, is just nonsensical. Does it serve us any greater good? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't. So we look and we move in a different direction. We move in concentrating with ourselves on creating a paradise and a God planet. And that's what we're doing. And it doesn't matter how things appear or will ever appear as we transition, because it is where we are. It is what we're doing. And it is because of our decisions that we have decided as a collective consciousness to shift this planet and to shift the civilization. And this isn't the only time this has occurred throughout the galaxy and throughout the universes, but it is the first time for this planet and the last time. So as we are transitioning and we have massive creating into reality power, it is for us to keep ourselves an even keel, so to speak, and to understand, okay, so we're super powerful, and we are aware and conscious, and we know the difference between yuckiness and goodness, and we've chosen the goodness. We literally have chosen the goodness. And the goodness is intensifying and expanding all over this planet, in the atmosphere, in it, above it, below it, on it. And it is continually growing. And we do not have this what-if scenario. Because the only thing that you view is what others believe. Understand that. The only thing that you're viewing out there, all of it, is what others believe. These are not your thoughts. They never will be. These are others' thoughts. And this is something that we should be clear with ourselves. In non-judgment, in non-ego, and non-negativity, that when we do read and review things, we understand that we're operating from a consciousness and also from the God within. So it isn't something that we see, because this is how things will spread, intensify in every direction if you believe in certain things. And that comes from the ego mind and the perspectives and receptivity and different perceptions. So when we realize that we are in mastership of ourselves and conscious, then we only view what we choose to view, and when we view it or listen to it, we don't take it verbatim, and we don't take it as a reality, because it's others' thoughts. Now, I know this is a little confusing for people, but what happens is, and even, the well-intentioned ones out there that are expressing information and so on and so forth, it is what we convene with always within us. This is the 3D matrix that we've left. And it is very easy to be seduced back into it, because we've been in it. We were in it for a long time. And we know where all of this goes. It is to ascend out of all of this, out of all the muck and mire, out of all of the confusion, all of the derogatory statements, information, the fear-mongering, the doom and gloom, the end of time, the end of the world, the end of civilization, and this has been played forever. And it is imperative that we choose, each of us, in our own way, in our own direction, that we don't care to energize it anymore. It's like, it's like a movie that you keep watching, and you watch it 1,000 times, and after a while, you just cannot watch it anymore, because you are so bored with it, and you know every line, every word, every scene, everything. This is what's happening here. This scenario has been played out so many times through the thousands and thousands of years. You have different species, you have different civilizations all mucking around trying to convey their opinion, their direction, their control factors. And it's just absolutely so dank and so old and used that you don't care to step into it anymore. So what happens is we become more conscious and aware, and we become more focused with ourselves and who we are and what we are. And as we forgive ourselves and love ourselves, and we're gentle and kind with ourselves, we begin to realize that the theater that we were all packed into is all but empty, because there are not many left in that theater participating in that show. And nor are we ever going to go there again. And eventually that theater will be boarded up, and then further on, it will be dismantled. And this, on the direction that we have decided to go on the collective consciousness of this planet Earth Gaia, is a higher frequency, 5 density. And that's where we're at. And limitless. We have no limitations ever again. And whatever we choose, we create. Whatever we choose, we create. And that's actually why we've created a God planet and a paradise. And if you looked at yourself as the sky, let's look at this if you looked at yourself as the sky, and you look at the vast blue sky, and you realize that the whole sky of your inner being is without thoughts and without clouds. And this is a state of no mind. And that perspective came from Osho. And sometimes our inner clouds can get in the way of seeing the vast, boundless being we all truly are. Okay? The inner clouds can get in the way of us seeing the vast, boundless beings we truly are. And of course, there are going to be times in our journey through this existence, this life, where our inner weather becomes deep, dark, and dismal. And the massive thunderstorms which can hang around for weeks. Now, we have a choice, each of us. Do we take this personally, or do we not? Well, the obvious answer is that we don't take this personally. The soul wants to experience all the dualities of life. And this is just an extreme experience. Like now, what we're transitioning with. And the blessed news, or the wonderful news, is that no matter which type of clouds are passing through your mind right now, you can find freedom from them by learning how to access your infinite sky-like nature. Space. To be in limitless, boundless space where there is nothing that is blocking us, restraining us, or controlling us. So it's always about stepping back from our minds and simply witnessing these clouds passing through. Have you ever been in a situation where you're looking up in the sky and you see these clouds? Have you ever been in a situation where the clouds are so low that you can almost touch them as they're passing by over your head? But you just let them pass by. You just literally witness the clouds passing through. You realize that you are as vast and limitless as the infinite sky. And those clouds will effortlessly pass on by. And none of us, we're not some dismal, you know, some people embrace this fact that they're a dismal rainstorm, that their life is miserable and it's just absolutely appalling, and that's the way their life is. And yet their true nature is infinite and forgiving like the sky. And if you notice, it's always open, yielding, receptive, and ever expansive. And these are the qualities of our core essence. And the actual essential true you is without change, while everything around you will change. But your core essential, your true you, is without change. And your mind acts often like changing weather patterns. You ever notice that? Yet we keep our attention on what is holding the weather. Just as the sky allows every cloud to move through it, our vast infinite self allows every thought, feeling, and experience to pass through as well. So when we experience things, and basically that's what we're doing, we experience things in these lives. As we experience them, we let them pass through. We don't hang on to them. We don't belabor them. We don't drag them around for years. We let them just pass through. This allows constant, limitless space of constant new experiences that we allow to come in for us to experience. just as this is the sky allows every cloud to move through it. We, our vast infinite selves, allows every thought, feeling, and experience to pass through as well. When we look within ourselves, we see the self. And then there will be an end of the world and its miseries. When we look within, we see the self, and then there will be an end of the world and its miseries. Ramana Maharishi. And that means that the world that we created, that we are now out of, affords us to create a new world, the opposite of the world that we just left. We end the world. Each of us have total freedom to let our minds obsess about these clouds, or casually let them go. It is an absolute fact that if we hold tightly, we will notice it causes them to build up energy and form even more powerful compacted storms, spinning hurricanes and cyclones of chaotic feelings about our lives. And holding patterns happen so that we can one day recognize that we also have the freedom to sit back, relax, and observe everything from the horizon. And from here, even the biggest cumulonimbus clouds can sweetly float by. And we all just realize that we are already free right now. We are already free right now. We can let any thought or feeling pass on through our minds, especially if it's causing you suffering. Yet, we do learn from it, and we see what it has to teach us about us. So, watch those thoughts that seem to stick to you, yet allow them to rise and fall away from your consciousness without becoming enslaved to them. This gives you back your power so that you can let go of this wild, ephemeral world and allow yourself to experience the vast being each and every one of us truly are. And this vastness contains the bliss everyone is looking for, and ironically, it's always available. It is only when we become overly attached to a particular thought, feeling, or belief passing by that we experience suffering. And you recognize that. It's only when we become overly attached to a particular thought, feeling, or belief passing by that we experience suffering. So imagine, what if the sky above somehow put up a roadblock and trapped every cloud passing by, sticking to the next one and so forth? Now, you know what happened when you feel like you're living in a massive fog. And whenever you believe a certain cloud thought is more important than your vastness, it will tend to stick. Fortunately, the winds of your consciousness naturally move and blow each cloud through. You don't have to do anything. The winds of grace will naturally pass them through. However, if your mind starts to avoid or attach yourself to any particular thought, the stormy weather will begin to accumulate. And just if you've seen a storm on the horizon, and you see the dark clouds, we've all seen this, and you go, wow, that looks like it's going to be a bad storm. We better hunker down. Look at how dark those clouds are. This is what happens when we hold on to these thoughts, when we don't let them pass through, and that stormy weather begins to accumulate. And if we continue to hold on to these thoughts and block everything from passing by, we are going to have one heck of a stormy experience. When we can calm our minds at will, and we become free of thoughts, we will experience quiet in our hearts and beings. And then we will truly be able to commune with our Creator, which is pure consciousness. So notice which thoughts you typically have about yourself that tend to get stuck and repeat themselves. Which ones are creating those dreary, foggy nights, massive rainstorms, and turbulent hurricanes? Which ones are they? If we continue to believe in these thoughts over the years, they can form into weather patterns and climate behaviors that may make each of us feel super stuck and the world suffering. Weather patterns can make you temporarily blind from seeing this divine perfection that we all already are. Yet the true vastness of our beings is always readily available. A wise master once said, to be strong like an oak tree, and yet bend like a blade of grass. This is the best way to face whatever storm is brewing, and let it effortlessly pass through you. And if you want to insanely access your sky-like consciousness and discover your sky-like nature, continue to go within. Continue to find the space. Continue to sit at the table with the candle lit of a flame which cannot be extinguished. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And the first thing we want to do is relax. Relax our bodies. Let it go. Let everything go. Everything. Every thought, every contemplation, every worry, every fear, every bit of anxiety, whatever you may be creating for yourself, let it go. Leave the mind alone. And reside in your heart. Allow your body to just let go. So you're no longer holding on to anything. You're no longer grasping and holding tight onto things. You just let them go. The body will respond and relax. Drop your shoulders. Any of the stress, fear, anxiety that you're holding in your body that you have attracted or gained through the last 24 hours or last several years, let it go. relax the body and reside in your heart, not the mind. Leave the mind alone. And as you do this, the body will respond, and you'll move into the sacred space, the heart, mind. And as you do this, you want to move into the now. And when you move into the now is all we have. It's all we've ever had. We don't go into the past. This is part of us hanging on to thoughts and hanging on to things forever, creating stormy weather. But when we go into the past is dead. We've experienced all those wonderful things and all those not too wonderful things. And we move forward. And we leave the past behind. And as we do this, we embrace the now. And we don't do anything in the now but create our future. Everything happens in the now. And the now stills the mind. And it really affords us to move into the heart and leave the mind alone. So when you still the mind in the now, you are leaving the mind alone. This is why the chatter is gone. The noise is gone. We don't have it. Now as we relax the body and move into the now, we want to breathe. We want to breath in through our noses, nice, easy breath in, and breath out through our mouths. Our breath is very powerful. It's very important. It calms us. It relaxes us. It focuses us. It moves us into peace and stillness. And we want to breath in and breath out at least 6 times while I'm talking. And as you breath in, picture that you're residing in the heart mind. And picture as you breath in through the nose, you pull that breath up through the sacral chakra. It comes from the sacral chakra, and that's the groin area. And you pull it up through the muscles in your body, and you move it through the center chakras of the body. Move it all the way through the center, up into the throat chakra, up through the crown chakra, and into the brain. And as you do this, you hover above the brain, and just below that area of that brain is the pineal gland. And you condense that breath into pure liquid frequency. And as you do this, this is where you will hold to condense it into liquid frequency. And you can use words such as I am light, I am love, I am. You can say I am power, whatever you vibrate with in the higher frequencies. And then you release it, and it saturates the pineal gland. Pineal gland starts to open, expand. And the pineal gland is our gateway to the particles of existence. And it's just our gateway beyond consciousness, period. So, as this takes place, we want to continue it. So we pull it up in, we liquefy it, we disperse it or let it flood the pineal gland, and then we pull it back up through. So it comes up. It's like a fountain. It's like a recycling fountain. It pulls up, we pull it up, in, over, out, up, in, over, out. And we want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. Now, we also know that as we're breathing in, this is pure divine positive energy. And it is from the collective consciousness. It's from pure consciousness. And that's how it operates. That's what it is. It's part of what we are. And so as we are breathing in and breathing out, we have the ego mind that tries to influence us, but remember something. You have left the mind. You are in the heart. You are in the heart We all are. So we have stilled the mind. We have left it alone. So we have total bliss. No noise, no chatter. It has been extinguished as we are within. Feel that. Savor it. You'll want to visit it often. Now, so as we do this, and as we are in the heart mind, and we have stilled the mind, and we have left the mind alone, and we're with our God, our Creator, the kingdom of God, and all of us are one within ourselves. We have others with us. We have the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, archetypes, all of them. This is a civilization that vibrates at a higher frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. That will change. They also deliver messages to us when they appear in humanoid form. It's great. I thank them every time they do. And they are consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And thousands, literally, can surround any one of us. Many can be in small space because of their frequency. We also have the Ascended Masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Morya, Abundancia, Hell, Thoth, many, many, many more. They have ascended out of physical form into God form. God form is pure consciousness. We have ascended into physical form to experience physical form. We are mastering as they have mastered. And they are consciously aware that they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. And we're all together here. We're all one. Trillions of the angels, many ascended masters, we all form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, and this now, this meditation, this circle of light. And we come together, some of us holding physical form, all of us together, arm in arm, hand in hand. All of our gods are with each other. And this brilliant light is generated. It comes from our gods. It comes from pure consciousness. It comes from pure, deep, eternal love and gratitude. And it is so brilliant and bright that it grays out the darkness of space. So we begin to levitate up above the planet. And as we do this, a gossamer field is there. It is everywhere. And it literally is brilliant colors and reflective light, vibrant. And it holds many columns to remind us of our power. The green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column that reminds us that we are the power of healing. The violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This reminds us of our power, our strength, and our resolve, this column. The purple transmuting flame. This column reminds us that if we do lower our frequencies to a certain extent, that the lower frequencies can enter. And if they do that, we can immediately bring in the purple transmuting flame and transmute those negative frequencies, those lower vibrational frequencies, into neutral light substance and send them back from whence they came, from source creation, for repurposing to pure consciousness. We have the violet ray, which we bring right behind the purple transmuting flame to purify and cleanse the area that we just eliminated the low frequencies from. We have the white fire, which is our armor, so to speak, and the armor is sustained by the highest of the deepest eternal love and the deepest of eternal gratitude. It's the highest frequency. It's a brilliant light. And we carry this all the time. And the only way that a lower frequency can interrupt the armor is if we lower it by lowering our vibrational frequency. And we know how, if that happens, how to mitigate that and how to lift our frequency back up. We have the golden white pink light of source creation, of Mother, Father, God, masculine, feminine, of prime source creator God. All of us created by source creation, which is pure consciousness. All of us. So we also have this massive crystalline column tower that we've created that is etheric and physical, and it is massive, larger than the solar system. It literally cascades flooding golden, shimmering frequency of deep eternal love throughout this planet, in it, on it, above it, and below it. All life, all things, non-stop. And it just continues to intensify and expand. So as we continue to levitate above this planet Earth Gaia, we step outside of our bodies, those of us carrying physical form, and we float above us, above our bodies. And as we do this, we immediately call out to all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And only those that are consciously aware that they are of the deepest, the highest of the deepest eternal love, from the highest of the deepest eternal love and the highest of the deepest eternal gratitude, can join us in this meditation, this now in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this universe. They come in the trillions of gigaplexes from every direction. And arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs, they are with us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one. We are the one. We are the love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner Earth, hollow Earth, Agartha, beneath Earth, many, many civilizations, only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest eternal love, from the highest, deepest eternal love, and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude, can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one. We are the one. We are the love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of the galactics and off-worlders, many, many, many civilizations, and just to name a fraction of our familiarity, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, and the Arcturians. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility and benevolence. And they come in the billions. And they've been assisting us in our evolution, and our enlightenment, and our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And we are in the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love. And we are all one. We are the one. We are the love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, only those who are that are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion and non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come. And they come in the billions. Their gods with our gods with theirs, arm in arm, hand in hand. They are with us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand, and we are the one, and we are the love. We call upon all the light energy beings who've decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. And just to name a few of the trillions, the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, and many, many, many more. They come in the trillions. Shapes, sizes, forms, configurations of which many we have never seen before. Their gods with our gods with theirs. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are the one. And we are the love. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It said center circle. We created this sphere over 2 years ago. It houses all of our meditations in perfect vibrational frequency. This is a extremely powerful, intense frequency of the highest of deepest eternal love and the highest of deepest eternal gratitude. And this is why it can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It is moving the very fabric of this universe into a higher light and a higher frequency. You can feel it as it floods you, your physical body, your etheric body, both your physical and your God. It cascades around you, through you. And it identifies with you that you are in the heart, that you are the true power of creation, that you are the one, that you are the love, that you are the gratitude, and that you have stilled the mind. It is silent. You are in the heart. You have left the mind. We all have left the mind alone. And this lifts the planet, because as we look down upon this planet Earth Gaia, and this now, in this meditation, this circle of light, we see all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest value in the universe is all things, as they're being flooded from our sphere, from our meditations, from the tower, the column that we've created. All of this in the highest of highest high frequencies of the deepest of eternal love and gratitude. Are we expanding? This is a new world. The other is no longer. We are in paradise, and we are in the God planet. We are in the fifth dimension. We are leaving the last vestiges and letting go of all of those lower dank frequencies, never again to revisit them. And we are the one, and we are the love. We are the godlike frequency, and we are the heaven on this God planet and this paradise that we, each and every one of us together collectively, have created and continue to intensify it and continue to expand it. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. take this, with you for the rest of the day and the evening and night and the following morning. Be in the heart as you walk with that body. Be in your heart. Still the mind. Embrace the infinite space and limitless beings that we all are. We will be back here April 14th, Tuesday, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.